Well, as you heard us discuss, the chair of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee and New York Congressman Patrick Maloney has conceded defeat to Mike Lawler in his bid for a House seat.
The Republican will now represent New York's newly redrawn 17th Congressional District in the Hudson Valley region. The latest CBS News polling shows Lawler to be ahead by more than 3,000 votes. Roughly 98% of the vote has been tabulated.
Joining us now is New York Congressman-elect Mike Lawler. Mike, how does it feel to hear me say that? You know, we understand that Congressman Maloney called you to concede in a race that really analysts largely expected him to win, not only because he was the incumbent, had name recognition, but also he had such a powerful position within the Democratic Party. So how are you feeling now?
Listen, I feel great. And certainly Congressman Maloney called me this morning. He was very gracious in conceding defeat in last night's election. But this was never about me. This was about the people of this district and their future and their family's future. I think there were a number of factors that played a role here. Obviously, from an issues standpoint, inflation and crime were top of mind for voters throughout this district, but also redistricting played a critical role. You know, 75% of this district was new for Congressman Maloney. He only represents a quarter of the new district currently, and I represent about 20% of it in the state assembly. So he didn't have that built-in advantage that a normal incumbent would have. And I was coming out of Rockland County, which was 42% of the district, and I won Rockland by 10 points. So I felt from the beginning that we had a really good opportunity here. And, you know, we executed on a great campaign and were able to be victorious.
Viewers of CBS News will know that when you joined us yesterday, you were wearing a vest, and now as Congressman-elect, you've upgraded to the blazer. It's interesting how a title will change things.
But could just be that it's colder also in New York now.
Yes, that too could be it. But talk to us about factors you feel, you've mentioned the redistricting, but other factors you feel contributed to your win. Do you think it had more to do with Maloney's missteps or your strengths?
Well, in any election, there's always a combination of factors, right? And yeah. I think certainly he was traveling around the country on behalf of Democratic candidates, campaigning, raising money. He traveled to Paris, London, Geneva. I was out knocking on doors, visiting every community every day for nearly 6 months, doing 6, 7, 8 events a day. And so I think I was able to connect with voters in the district and overcome kind of some of the built-in advantages that he had, including financial resources. And, you know, I'm just really proud of the campaign that we waged, but more so, I'm proud of the voters for choosing change in this election and wanting to see balance and common sense restored at every level of government. And, you know, coming out of New York, it looks like we may send 5 new members down to Washington, bringing our total to 11, which would be pretty remarkable given earlier this year, you know, Sean Maloney and the Democrats tried to gerrymander the maps and knock Republicans down to 3 seats. So it's a pretty impressive turnaround.
Congressman-elect, you are one of those standout examples now because overall your party underperformed expectations. There's still a question about who's going to control the House and the Senate. It's looking good for your party in terms of control of the House, the Senate a little bit closer there. I'm wondering, because we were talking before about bipartisanship and the desire among so many people, and you even said yourself, balance, common sense, that there is a desire for Republicans, Democrats to stop the divisiveness that we've heard and actually work together on behalf of the country. Do you feel like you can pledge yourself to that goal?
Oh, absolutely, because I've done it. You know, I flipped a 2-to-1 Democratic district 2 years ago in the state assembly. And I have among the most bipartisan voting records in Albany. And here, again, flipping a seat that Joe Biden won by 10 points. You only achieve success in a seat like this by reaching out to Democrats, to independents, to disaffected Republicans, and bringing everybody together on the issues that cut across party line, that cut across racial or ethnic or religious barriers. And that is what my focus is. That is what I will do as a member of Congress. And I have a track record of doing that in the state assembly. So for me, it's pretty easy. And I will look to do that come January.
So would you say you're excited about working together with President Biden?
Look, where we can find area of agreement, absolutely. Where we disagree, I will speak out. I mean, to me, it is important not just to be disagreeable, but to find area of commonality, to get things done on behalf of the American people. We have a lot of challenges, and the president is the president for another 2 years. And so during my 2-year tenure, I'm going to do everything I can to represent my district and get things done on their behalf.
All right, some green shoots of hope there for
right.
compromise, perhaps. Congressman-elect Mike Lawler, congratulations. Perhaps it's Blazers from now on. We shall see. Great to chat with you.
Thank you.
We'll be in suits come January.